You are Locked On Tigers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Detroit on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Are you serious? Come on, it's the best series of the entire season. A 3-game sweep over the Seattle Mariners. Javi Baez wins it for the Detroit Tigers. Fired up as always to be with you. Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers postcast. I am your host, Jake Riepma. Follow me on Twitter at Jake_Riepma. This is Locked On Sports Detroit and Locked On Tigers postcast. We thank you for making us your destination following the final out of the contest. Locked On Tigers postcast, your first listen every day, free and available wherever you get your podcast. And of course, on YouTube, your friendly reminder, if you haven't yet, subscribe to Locked On Sports Detroit and do me one better, tell a friend about Locked On Sports Detroit as well. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And hey, how about a huge shout out to today's presenting sponsor, making the show possible, Game Time. That's right. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. This is it. This is the day you write down, you circle it on the calendar. Thursday, August 15th, finally, the Tigers win the game. It's crazy. I can't believe I'm saying this. On the back of Kenta Maeda with 5 1/3 innings pitched, and Javi freaking Baez, a 2-run homer, go-ahead homer in the 8th inning to secure the win for the Tigers. You can't make it up. And I had to rewind it and make sure I wasn't seeing things. I had to check every single update I get on my phone, Twitter, CBS Sports, YouTube, everything. And MLB, the app, everything. I had to make sure this was really happening. I mean, Javi Baez, as critical as I've been of him, and this isn't some victory lap to take on me, and maybe if you wanted, that's fine, dunk on me, because I've been the biggest naysayer of Javi Baez. But hey, we will tip the cap and say something nice about Javier Baez today, because he wins it for the Tigers in a strange game that saw the Tigers bullpen just dominate the Seattle Mariners. And if you've been with us along this 3-game series, you know we've talked at length about how important these games are for the Seattle Mariners. Not that they aren't for the Detroit Tigers, but the Mariners are in the midst of a division race with the Houston Astros, and they just dropped 3 games to the Detroit Tigers. And in this one, I mean, we can take it game by game. The opener, you give up 15 runs. The Tigers dominated. Yesterday, you let it get away late with the Kerry Carpenter 2-run homer. And today, a 2-run homer from Javi Baez, and you were absolutely silenced by Kenta Maeda on the mound. And aside from Alex Faeda struggling in the first inning, really just struggling with control and command, it was all walks. It wasn't even anything that the Mariners did particularly well. It was a one-hitter in 9 innings of work for the Tigers bullpen. The bullpen day comes through, and a shout out to Jason Foley getting his 16th save of the season, a clean 9th inning that included a strikeout as well. And the Tigers complete the sweep over the Seattle Mariners, and now the Mariners are 3 games back of the Houston Astros, who are off today. But welcome in, welcome one, welcome all. It's a day game edition of a Locked On Tigers postcast. We're thrilled you're skipping work or whatever you're doing to make today a priority to be on the Locked On Tigers postcast. It's always a pleasure, and it's always more fun when the Tigers win. We've got a lot to break down. We're going to discuss Javi Baez's big day, and like I said, Kenta Maeda, and it is in fact a sweep. As always, we'll get to the comments. If you're watching on YouTube, on the Locked On Sports Detroit YouTube page, Locked On Tigers postcast, ton of fun things in the works for you as we get closer and closer to the regular season. We're still with you, the NFL regular season, I should say. We're still with you in the preseason for Locked On Lions postcast. And of course, with the Tigers on a 4-game winning streak, the Locked On Tigers postcast have been a heck of a lot more fun as of late as well. And it's all part of the Locked On Sports Network, your team every single day. All right. Now, Javi Baez at bat in the 8th inning is, I mean, first and foremost, it's Javi Baez doing something productive in a Tigers uniform. So that's rare. It's a go-ahead 2-run homer, his 4th of the season. But I had to steal this, and it's on X from my good buddy Jeff Rieger, great friend, big fan of the program as well, friend of the program. But Andres Munoz, who was on the mound for the Mariners, had not given up a hit. No, not a run, a hit since the 4th of July. It's August 15th. That is insane. That's 11 appearances, 11 and a third, 180 pitches, and then bang, Javi Baez takes him deep. 8th inning, and what do you know? The Detroit Tigers win. You just really can't make it up. I mean, of all the things I had written down to talk about, because the Tigers were lifeless for 7 innings, similar to yesterday, you throw those notes out the window because Javi Baez changed everything with one swing of the bat. Other observations, I thought Parker Meadows defensively was really, really good in center field, and he also did some damage on the base path. So yes, Javi's going to get the headline, and rightfully so. But Parker Meadows did a lot of really good things today to help the Tigers ultimately earn that win. And winning baseball, it sees center fielders making the types of plays that Parker Meadows did, chasing balls down in the gap, stealing bases. Those are little things that, yeah, they show up in the box score, but it all is a part of playing that better brand of baseball that we've seen from the Tigers in the last 4 games, resulting in the 4-game win streak. And aside from the one walk-off loss in Seattle, if it weren't for that, you're looking at the Tigers taking all 6 games from the Mariners. So, and like I said, not to beat a dead horse, but the Mariners are a team that have really, for the vast majority of the season, owned the AL West. And owns a strong term. I shouldn't say own. They've been in first in the AL West. And now with the Astros playing as well as they are, they're starting to create some distance from the Seattle Mariners because, oh yeah, the Tigers are in town, and the Mariners were in Detroit, and the Tigers come away with the sweep. All good stuff. And as always, it's more fun talking about a Tigers win. Kenta Maeda, fantastic on the mound today. And maybe even, this is crazy talk, but maybe he even did enough to start considering him as perhaps a guy you get back into the starting rotation, because this isn't the first time he's gone out in a relief role and just ate up a bunch of innings. Hasn't been, I mean, today was really, really good. 5 2/3, just the one hit, walked one guy, struck out 5, 84 pitches, 52 of them for strikes. And so when you look at Kenta Maeda, he was getting ahead of hitters. He was controlling the corners, nibbling at the corner. He was doing a great job of nibbling, if you will, staying ahead of hitters. And those are all things that Maeda has to do to be successful. And I'm not saying throw him back in the starting rotation. No, we're not quite there. But if you look at his game log and his production as of late, he's settled into this role. And, you know, I'm not going to take everything away I said about Kenta Maeda in terms of being a bad contract, in terms of him underachieving, in terms of everything else that we've discussed at length. Same with Javi. I mean, this was the definition of an outlier game. When you look at the production and the performance of Javier Baez over the course of the season and Kenta Maeda, and those being the 2 most valuable players in this game for the Tigers. I mean, like I said, you just can't make it up. But he was good against the Giants on August the 9th. I know the Tigers lost that game 3-2, but he threw 4 2/3 and did give up the 2 earned runs. And again, I'm not sitting here saying he's been amazing, but on July 28th, 5 innings against the Twins, gave up just the 1 earned run. And so you try to find little pieces here and there where, he wasn't egregiously bad. And like I said, I'm not saying starting the charge to put him in the starting rotation, but today was, for as bad as it's gone for Kenta Maeda this season, his first season in a Tigers uniform, today was good. Today was really, really neat to see. But appreciate everybody tuning in as always. And let's get to those comments. If you're watching on the YouTube page, we appreciate you checking out our live show on Locked On Sports Detroit. But a good reminder, you can catch the audio only version on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, and always available on YouTube as well if you prefer the video version, even though I've got a face for radio. That's why I was at 97.1 The Ticket. But we've used that line way too many times. But let's get into the comments, because this is all good stuff. We got a lot of people watching, and that's always appreciated. Jason Walters first up. Yes, the say something nice about Javi Baez game. A sweep is a sweep. That's right. I will own it. I will wear it. I'm looking at my Twitter mentions right now, and everybody's hitting me up and saying, "Yep, that's it. That's you." I gotta wear. No, what do they say? Egg on your face. Yep. And I'll do that. I'll wear that for this game because a broken clock is right twice a day. A blind squirrel finds a nut, whatever cheesy cliche saying you want to use, but we'll take it because this was a really, really, I'll say boring, dull game for 7 innings. And then with one swing of the bat, it was Javi Baez. And I think we should give credit to Parker Meadows as well, because like I said, he made a lot of plays and he was on base and had gotten to third with the stolen base and then advanced on the, what was it? I think the ground ball to the right side. I don't have the play-by-play in front of me, but that being said, he was on in the 8th inning for the Tigers to help get that 2-run homer from Javi Baez. But Javi Baez for sure is your hero. Meadows walked to lead off the inning, stole second. McKinstry popped up, and then Baddoo grounded out, but Meadows got to third. So there you go. But our studs and duds, we usually say that to the end, but it's real easy today. It's Javi Baez and Kenta Maeda, baby. Those are your studs. Couple more comments to get to. That's right. Demetrius McNeil is in the comments. He's a real one. Not only the Tigers sweep the Mariners, they held them to 1 run, 1 hit, another Tigers magic. Yeah, the bullpen day. Listen, I'm critical at times, but other times you tip the cap. And in 162 games, there's going to be times I'm wrong. There's going to be times I'm wrong a lot, obviously, but times where you push the wrong buttons, times where you push the right buttons. And today and over the course of the last 4 games, the Tigers are clicking. And it's baseball season. Baseball has a way of doing that. It's a roller coaster, ebbs and flows. Everybody knows the drill at that point. Zing Dad, this team has had some 8th inning magic this year. That's a good point. Yeah, it was early in the season, I want to say April or May or whatever it was, there was that streak where the Tigers would only score runs in the 8th. And the last 2 games that had the feel of that way that the Tigers were playing early in the season, which is fun. It's fun when you can get some late inning heroics to lead to the win. All right, we'll get to more comments going, back to the comments, I should say, but we are way over time. My producer's in my ear right now. I'm just kidding. That's me. I'm the producer. But losing track of time, we got to take a quick break and keep the lights on here on Locked On Sports Detroit, because that's what it's all about. We'll be back to continue to break this one down. Don't go anywhere. The Locked On Tigers postcast continues in just a moment. This episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is brought to you by Game Time. Game Time's the only ticketing app you'll ever need. Number of reasons. First and foremost, it is the best. Secondly, it's an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. So if you're a procrastinator like me, not to worry. In fact, you can get rewarded as the price goes lower and lower with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, lowest price guaranteed. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. And the great thing about Game Time, it's not just for Major League Baseball. It's not just for professional sports or college sports for that matter. It's for all your live events. We're talking concerts, we're talking comedy routines, shows, whatever it may be. If you're looking for live entertainment and to attend an event, Game Time is the app that you need. Tons of features. The last minute deals, we all know about that. You can save up to 60% by buying last minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, the theater, you name it. But I love the all-in pricing. This is the biggest one. This is the one you circle and say, this is why I use the Game Time app. All-in pricing means you're not getting surprised with last-minute fees at checkout. You turn on the all-in pricing feature and you see exactly what you're going to pay. What a concept, right? Shows the total up front, no surprise fees at checkout. That's right. You got to turn that feature on, though, just to make sure you're getting the accurate view so you know exactly what that all-in pricing looks like. But you know what? There's so many good things about the app. There's also the seat views with the panoramic photograph of where your seat will be. That means there's no deception. You see exactly what the view's like. All in all, you take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets when you use the Game Time app. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. That's right, terms apply, but create that account, redeem the code, spell it out, LOCKEDONMLB. That's right, spell it out. LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. We're cruising right along on a Locked On Tiger early edition on the day game, Locked On Tigers postcast. My name is Jake Riepma. As always, if you're just tuning in, welcome. Javi Baez wins it for the Tigers with a 2-run homer in the 8th, and the Tigers sweep the Mariners. And with the win, Tigers starting to inch closer and closer back to 500, now 59 and 63. So 4 games under the 500 mark. And along with Kenta Maeda, we talked about him at length, but just an overall tremendous day out of the bullpen. And say what you will about Alex Faedo, and obviously you can't walk 4 guys in an inning and expect to have success. However, if you think of it glass half full, the dude walked 4 guys and only gave up 1 run. Kind of crazy. Kept his team. I don't want to say kept his team in it. It was not a good first inning from Alex Faedo. I'm not sitting here telling you that. But as the way baseball works, you only give up 1 run there. You score 2 runs in the game. You shut down the Mariners the rest of the game. Voila, you win the ball game. Kenta Maeda, 5 2/3, just the 1 hit. Did not give up a run, 5 strikeouts, vintage Kenta Maeda. Well, Kenta Maeda before he was a Tiger, we'll put it that way. And Shelby Miller, he gets his 6th win of the season. He went an inning and a third, 1 strikeout, but hey, 22 pitches. He was very efficient, and in terms of what we've seen from Shelby Miller in the past, we will certainly take that as an outing today. And Jason Foley gets his 16th save, a 1-2-3 9th inning that included a strikeout, just 14 pitches, no stress, which is kind of crazy, given how the way this Tigers bullpen has been. Really, I don't want to say the entire year, because they were really good for the first month of the season, but after that, kind of, the wheels fell off, if you will. All right, couple more comments that we didn't get to in the opening segment. Matt Wood says, keep the momentum going. You'll be there tomorrow. All right, yeah, Yankee. We haven't looked ahead to the weekend series yet. A unique series because obviously Friday and Saturday at Comerica Park, but Sunday is the Little League World Series Williamsport game. So the Tigers and Yankees will play in Williamsport, Pennsylvania for the finale, which is on Sunday Night Baseball as well. So I got to double check the start time for that, but a unique little curveball in the schedule, if you will. All right. Antonio Robinson, this game was rigged. Yeah. If I'm a Mariners fan, I am pulling my hair out. If I'm an Astros fan, I am thanking the Tigers. In fact, it's funny. I mentioned that because one of the fellow Locked On hosts, he does Locked On Houston, reached out to me on Twitter and tweeted me, whatever you want to call it, saying, thank you, Tigers, big Astros fan. And I say, hey, anytime, what do you know? The Tigers are helping the Houston Astros out. Not that we want to help those guys out. I don't really like them, but you get the idea. The Tigers won 4 straight. They sweep the Mariners and have been playing really good baseball. Let's move to Maritime Adam. Javi does it again. Whoa. Let's relax with that again stuff. When has he ever done it? I mean, that's his 4th home run. Yeah, he's the highest paid player on the team, and I guess it's all worth it because he won us a random day game in August. I kid. That's too cynical. I am really appreciative of Javi's efforts today. He proves that he can hit home runs in clutch situations instead of being up 13 runs. All right, there you go. There's a little tongue-in-cheek from my guy, Adam. There we go. One more from Adam. Maybe Kenta is figuring something out in the bullpen. Sometimes all guys need is a reset and some minor or major tweaks in this case. Yeah. And that's the part with Kenta Maeda. I was talking to Sam Ekstrom, who used to do Locked On Twins, does a ton of stuff for Locked On. And he was a huge Kenta Maeda fan when he was in Minnesota. And I just had to tell him, Sam, look, I know he's good in Minnesota. He's just been terrible for us. And there, it's not personal or anything. He just doesn't have it anymore. But today he was really, really good. All right, we rounded out with a couple of questions, which is always welcomed on Locked On Sports Detroit. When do you think Spencer Torkelson is going to be up? It's got to be soon. He had another home run the other day. And at this point, I don't know what we're waiting for. I think the point's been proven. Let me try to say this without coming across, I don't know, simple-minded, arrogant, whatever it is. At this point, why not? What is it hurting? What's the point of him continuing to play AAA baseball? And I know that's a very simplistic, shallow take, if you will, but that's how I feel about it. All right, Tyler Spring, just win, baby. One game at a time. 0.7% chance for playoffs, according to Fangraphs. Hey, Tyler, I appreciate you looking that up, man. That's good stuff. But I wouldn't be worrying about the playoffs too much at this point. All right, there's my guy, Mark. I knew Mark, and I was hoping McKinstry would come up with a clutch hit. Obviously, he did not. But Mark, as much as you're down on Javi, the same feeling about McKinstry. I know you are not a McKinstry guy. And McKinstry's just that guy. Nobody really expects a lot out of him. He's been thrust into a more prevalent role because of the shortcomings of the rest of the roster, as well as the injuries and that sort of thing. And obviously, I'm not sitting here saying he's been good, but I don't have the disdain for McKinstry as I do for Javi Baez. Torque is not a big leaguer. Yeah, he proved that he wasn't at the beginning of this season, but you don't have to go back that far to see when he was proving he was a big leaguer. And when he's your first overall pick, I think the leash is a little bit longer on the patience for him to figure it out because of the investment that you made in him. It's not some scrub. I mean, this is the number one overall pick in the draft. You gotta at least see it out and it be so clear. And at this point, what's it hurting? I know we have a 0.7% chance of making the playoffs, but newsflash, I don't think the Tigers are making the playoffs. Get them up there and let's see what we've got. All right, we're going to take one more break and continue to discuss this win, as well as look ahead to the weekend series against the Yankees. Don't go anywhere. Tigers have won 4 in a row. They sweep the Seattle Mariners. Back on Locked On Tigers Postcast. Hey, this episode of the Locked On Tigers Postcast is brought to you by Liquid IV. Summer and America's pastime go hand in hand, but you know what? You can't forget to be hydrated, because if you're not, nobody wins. That's right. Dive into hydration with America's #1 hydration tool, Liquid IV. Listen, this isn't just some way to add electrolytes or anything like that. No, we're talking delicious flavor. Popsicle Firecracker, a surefire summer hit. That's right. Blast off with the iconic summer flavor of Popsicle Firecracker, a festive blend of citrus-fueled lemon lime, tart cherry, and raspberry flavors. It is incredible. And listen, there's important reasons to hydrate. We all know that, whether it's working out, whether it's just to feel better, whether you had too many pops the night before, you know what I mean by pops. All of that are reasons to indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. That's right. Tear, pour, live more. One stick in a 16-ounce water bottle hydrates better than water alone. Powered by Live Hydroscience, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that run ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. Find all your flavors on the website. That's right, liquidiv.com. And listen, 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, and not all that sugar that you don't need. It's always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. So it checks all the boxes. Don't you worry. So no more thirsty summers when you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop a better hydration today using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. Once again, that's promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. This episode of the Locked On Tigers podcast is also brought to you by Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action. And unlike other apps, on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're not playing against a bunch of sharks or anything. All you have to do is pick 2 or more player projections and get after it. Watch the winnings roll in. You pick more or less. It's that easy. And don't forget to join the Prize Picks community and get in on the action. You can now win up 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. And if you're looking for promotions, Prize Picks has got you covered every single week. On Tuesdays, we lower the prices of select player stat projections, and that helps your lineup hit. Or on Fridays, you get your entry fees back if you have a losing lineup. And don't you worry, Prize Picks is available in more than 30 states across the country. I love using Prize Picks. I usually pick more because life's too short to pick less, right? All right, download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. All right, we close it out. More comments to get to, and I appreciate everybody's participation in the chat. It always makes it enjoyable and fun. And listen, I want this Locked On Sports Detroit to feel like a community. That's right. So I've enjoyed reaching out with people on whether it be Instagram, Twitter, right here on YouTube. Try to reply to as many comments as I can. But having your voice heard is such an important part of being an active member of our Locked On Sports community. So appreciate everyone there. And you know what? Sometimes you guys help me out too. Like Jason Walter reminded me 7:00 start Sunday night from Williamsport. There we go. You got to love it. Maritime Adam, I think we need to sign one more starting pitcher. We have Mize and Olsen coming back. I just don't think Montero has enough pitches to get through a quality start. Yeah, I think that's a good point. And the offseason, I think we're going to have a lot of fun looking at this offseason because there's a lot of different directions that you would hope the Tigers and Scott Harris in the front office would go. And there's been a lot of instances, this current 4-game win streak being one of them, where you feel like you're close. And I've been preaching that quite a bit. And I have felt it quite a bit. But then there's also times where you look at the approach that was employed last offseason and you just feel you feel the wind taken out of your sails. You feel disheartened to think that this is what Scott Harris is what his what am I trying to say? His blueprint, his playbook has always been just prospects and develop. And I get that, but dang it, spend some money and bring some talent in to complement the young core that you got. And I hope that's what this Tigers organization does in this particular off season. That's my take on the matter, if you will. All right. We are going to be back with you tomorrow night, Tigers, Yankees. When you look ahead at the schedule, 3-game series against the Yankees, 2 of them at Comerica Park. And then, of course, the third and final game of that series is Sunday Night Baseball in Williamsport. So we will see, I believe, Tarek Skubal on Sunday night against, yes, we will. Sunday night against the Yankees in that Williamsport game. We'll see Tarek Skubal, Kader Montero on Saturday. So that means another bullpen day tomorrow. Garrett Cole for the Yankees. The righty is 3-2 after he spent the beginning portion of the season on the injured list. So, hey, nice little pitching matchup. We got a Tigers bullpen that's coming off a 1-hit, 1-run game against the Mariners and Garrett Cole tomorrow night. So we'll be on the air following the conclusion of that one. As always, look forward to talking to you then. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. You've got the evening free, no Tigers baseball. We love these day games to get after it. And if you're at work, you can tell the boss to shove it because you got Locked On Tigers to enjoy. All right. Let's continue to stay in touch with the Tigers as they take on the Yankees tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in today. It's the Javi Baez game. Javi Baez, Kader Montero game. Kenta Maeda game. I just read Kader Montero. My apologies. Let me try that again. It's the Javi Baez, Kenta Maeda 2-1 victory over the Mariners, completing the sweep. Tigers now 59-63 on a 4-game win streak. Yankees up next. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Locked On Tigers postcast. Have a wonderful evening.